Hi, I'm Bart Hanson. I'm the owner and operator of CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time every Monday. If you want to call in your hand, check out the phone number in the description.
Anyway, we're 1.8 K effective. I've got
Okay.
them covered. And I straddle. I'm on the button. I straddle to 10. There's two limps, early mid position, somewhere in there. And I have queen of clubs, jack of clubs on the button. And I raise it up to 60.
Okay.
And the villain is in the big blind, and he 3-bets to 240. The limpers fold in between, and I call the 240.
So you've got 10 on the button. It goes limp, limp. You make it 60, and he makes it 240, like 4x, and you decide to call. And you're 1,800 effective. Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty good. I mean, usually, I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen this guy, 3-bet light. He's doing it 4x. You're getting some price. You're obviously in position, and it's good that your head's up, sort of closing the action. I mean, very occasionally I might fold this hand to a 3-bet if I know the guy is just like aces, kings heavy. But okay, so you make the call.
My thought was I hadn't seen him show down any of his 3-bets, and I thought he's probably not doing it light. But if I do connect, I didn't think he was going to have a pretty strong range. So anyway, I call the pot is 500.
Yep.
Flop is 8, 9, 10, all clubs. So I flop a straight flush.
Okay.
And he comes out and bets 450 on the flop.
He bets 450 on the flop. Okay.
And I just call. I don't know. This is. I mean, the hand's not that complex. I'm just not sure. I'm wondering if that's the best line to take with this hand. If I should ever consider raising the flop or.
Well, this is interesting because this one's different than like when you flop quads or something where you have total board coverage. I mean, this board is sort of like the definition of a dynamic board, meaning that like things are going to change by the end, right?
Right.
So, in theory here, when you look at this and you're like, well, you've got queen jack of clubs, right? You don't block the ace of clubs or the king of clubs. And this is always, the question that I ask to people. I say like, if he has nothing, like he's got a red ace king and you call, is he going to continue to fire a turn? So the way that sometimes I would look at this is I would be like, all right, well, there are so many action-killing cards that can come, like half the deck, right? And
Right.
How often is he going to bet fold on the flop if he actually has something on such a wet board? I mean, the pot is already 550. He's betting 450 in it to it, so it's 1,000. If you call, it's 1,450, and you've got like 900 left. So I would like raising this board a lot more than some other boards where you're on a lockdown, like, for example, with like top set and like on a 9-5 deuce board or something like that, where people will continue to fire overcards or they'll try to barrel you off of, a hand like sevens. This is much, much different. So just because you flop the stone cold nuts doesn't mean that you always have to slow play. So to be perfectly honest with you, a lot of times I like a call with a set in a spot like this where the board is sort of a little bit low, but can be dynamic. But here, it's so dynamic, I feel like, you can obviously gamble and call and then hope he bets on the turn and then just get it in on the turn. But I'm looking at, a jack, a queen, a 7, a 6, or any club that might change a whole lot. It would just be a shame if this guy would get it in now and he doesn't get it in later on. So
Right.
I got to tell you, I would probably raise here more often than not just call for those reasons.
Okay. That was sort of my question.
Okay.
I did fall.
Yeah.
And now looking at what happened, I'm not sure what he would have done if I would have raised. The turn was like a red deuce. It was a complete brick, and now he bets 500.
Okay. So you got what you were looking for, right?
Right. The pot was 1,400. He bets 5, so it's 1,900, and I have 1,100 back or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And so I raised all in.
Yep.
And he tanked for a long time, and he folded king with the king of clubs.
King with the king of clubs? I mean, that's pretty interesting. And it was only what, like you only, and the raise was only like a
It was
min
like
raise?
well, yeah, practically a min raise. It was 600 to call with 3,000 in the pot, right, roughly, right around there.
So he folded getting 5-1 with kings with the king of clubs, and he just gives you like a flopped flush. He thinks maybe you're drawing. I mean, it's just interesting with his
Honestly,
specific
I was
hand
shocked.
because like what flop. I mean, I guess you have ace jack, ace queen of clubs, and maybe ace jack of clubs. He doesn't know you have a straight flush, but I mean, as long as you don't have the nut flush, and he's getting 5-1, right? And let's say that
Right.
like he has 8 outs. And occasionally, if you were to have like a set and you were waiting for a safe card on the turn, that's a terrible fold by him with kings with the king of clubs getting what 6-1.
It would have been 6-1. I was shocked because, like you said, on the flop, my thought was, well, I was undecided which way to go. Raise or call and just hope, for a clean turn. And then when he bet the turn, I thought if I raise the flop, if he does have air, he's never calling. If he has air, he's probably not betting the turn either. But say he does have aces with the ace of clubs, the turns are blank, he's going to fire again. And
Well, this is
I didn't think he would ever fold. But
there's a guy in the chat, Ryan Davis, who's saying, and I agree with him that turn raises are so nutted in live poker, and also too, I mean, somebody can make a case where they're like, well, you're so unbalanced if you're only raising strong hands on the flop. Like, you need to call to protect your range. But how often are you going to be in this spot against the guy that's using the sizing? You say you never go to Sugar House. It's just all about max value. So people take that to an extreme. Like, you want to play a lot of exploitative spots in live poker to win the most money. And a lot of times you will get action by fast playing flops. Because, like, I could see this. I mean, it's shocking that he folded the turn, and he really shouldn't. Like, I mean, unless you just always have the nut flush there, with that, I mean, but I feel like if you had him in at 900 on the flop, he's going to call, and you can bet the turn, and he's going to call. You know what I mean? And who knows if he convinces himself on the river if he's going to call if it comes out brick. Obviously, if a club comes, I would think he's going to call too. Why is he calling? The whole way. Right. So, but that is a little bit surprising. But that's interesting. I think that
there would be no reason whatsoever to just call the turn, I guess. You pretty much have to get it in there.
I mean, you could, but again, you're gambling on the fact that it would just really, really suck if the guy had an overpair without a club in it, or some sort of one-liner came in. There's just so, I mean, right. when he bets 500 here and you say, hey, Bart, how often do you think a guy's going to fold when he has a value hand when he's betting 500? I would say, like, less than 1% of the time from my experience. It's just sort of an outlier hand. But
right. That's sort of what I thought. I just wanted to check, and I think you're probably right. A flop raise. I don't know what he would have done. I can't imagine he would have folded, but it was an interesting spot, and I certainly didn't expect him to fold that hand. That's sort of the hand that I was hoping he has when I raise. Overpair with a club that certainly not
right.
folding, but he did
well,
fold, so.
Thanks for the call. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out CrushLivePoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA200. Click on the link right there.